Welcome. Let's put this in the ether. All right, you know me. I'm not a fan of divorce, but if you have to be in a divorce, if a man had to divorce you or you had to divorce somebody, right? The only reason for a woman to divorce or anybody for divorce is that infidelity, cheating, and abusive. There's no other reason, right? I know we live in a world of no fault divorces where you don't need a reason to divorce somebody. You just don't love them, right? But when you marry somebody, you made a commitment to be with that person. You made a holy matrimony, an oath. You're supposed to make an oath to God that it'll last till death do you part. But in these days, society is to the government, right? These days, marriage is basically marriage to the government, right? And basically, the government said. Well, the government's favored women heavily, right? So the government said that women, you don't need a reason to divorce a man. Back then you do need a reason, right? But in my eyes, the only reason for you to divorce a person if he's highly abusive, right, or there's cheating, right? If they're abusive, no matter the man or woman, right, you should not be with them. Nobody need to be abused. Nobody have to no one have the right to put their hands on anybody. That's my book, right? I don't believe in abusive relationship. I don't like people being hurt. I don't like people being destroyed, right? I don't like people being attacked. I don't like people being hit. I don't like physical altercations. I don't like domestic disputes, right? I don't like none of that. Nobody should put up with that, right? Regardless if it's from a man or a female. Nobody have the right to put their hand on nobody. Alright? Because I hate that. That's one thing I despise. And that's the only solution, the only reason why anybody should divorce. Because nobody should put up with an abusive relationship. Alright? No man have the right to abuse anybody, produce any woman. And women have no right to abuse a man. Right? Whether it's physically or mentally. Right? Abuse is abuse. You don't have to deal with that. That is the appropriate reason to divorce somebody. In my book, in my eyes, right? Guys, don't hit women, right? Don't hit nobody. Women don't hit men. If you want to be like a man, treat like a man. Don't be afraid. Don't be ignorant that a man will hit you back. All right? But I don't like any violence. I don't condone nobody hitting nobody commit any violence, and that's the only reason for divorce. If your relationship is that toxic, where it has to come to physical altercations, all right, then we have to have a divorce. We have to cut it cold turkey, cut it down the line. You don't need to be with that person. That's the only reasons, right? You don't want to get to the point where somebody off somebody, all right? When you're in an abusive relationship. It could get to that point where they build all these resentment, this strife that leads to a person taking actions, and I don't want that. This is why we have to cut off those kind of relationships immediately. All right, you don't see them on the 6 o'clock news because of dispute, right? That's the only reason for divorce. One of the only reason. Another one is cheating, right? When you cheat on somebody, right, you're basically saying you're disloyal. Cheaters will always cheat, right? A woman could not change her ways if she cheat. If she's a cheater. Same goes with men. Right? How they did this act before. How would you know? Reaffirm yourself that they will not do it again. You just don't know. That's why you take no chances with cheaters. Right? They cheat on you. They went behind your back to see somebody else, to fornicate with somebody else. Right? That means that they're disloyal to you. That they're dishonest to you. They're willing to lie to you. They lost feelings for you. They lost any kind of physical attraction mentally and physically. Right? If it comes to that point, you should not be with that person. It's going to lead to physicality as well. Right? Cheating and abusive. Right? Cheating usually lead to abusive relationship as well. Right? That's the only reason for divorce. Right? It's the only reason. If a guy's drinking heavily, that could be fixed. That could be remedied, right? If a guy's lose a job, that could be remedied. That's temporary. You can find another job. If a guy's money isn't the way it was, that could be remedied. That could be fixed. Like the Beatles song said, we can work it out. Why can't you work this out? Right now, when it comes to an abusive relationship, right, and cheating, In my book, I don't see that could be worked out because it tells a person characteristic, a person nature, right? That cannot be reformed, right? Because they could snap at any moment, and you don't want to take the chances. That's why you should divorce them, right? But besides that, anything else besides that could be remedied, right? If he loses his job, that's not on the ground. That's not on the ground for divorce. I don't see that, right? If he loses his job, well, that could be fixed immediately. So all this other stuff, he don't meet expectation. He don't make enough money. You know, you have to be support. You gotta be backbone of each other if you guys decide to get married, right? It's said to death do you part for a reason. For the children, look at the damage you do to your kids when you file for divorce. If you have kids, you know, if you have kids, you're not. That's basically. And when you have kids, your life is primary for the kids now. You're just being selfish at that point, right? You're just being so selfish. Because you have to think about the kids. When you have kids, your life is over. You have to live your life for your kids now. And people don't think like that. They don't think that when you divorce a person for no reason, they think it's legitimate. No, right? If he don't put his hand on you or abusive, you shouldn't be divorcing it. Think about the kids, right? Think about the kids. If he didn't meet expectation, like if he kind of weak in some areas, you could work that out with him, right? I don't want to go to a psychology. You can talk to him. If his family don't like it, you can work it out with him, right? But besides that, the only reason for divorce is abusive relationship and cheating and infidelity. That's it. You have no excuse for divorce. And unfortunately, no for divorce give women excuses to file for divorce without any reason at all. Oh, because I'm not happy. Being not happy is not a reason to file for divorce. That's just selfishness, right? I'm not happy because I'm not this. I'm not happy because I'm not. We're not in a certain position in our life. I'm not happy because we're struggling. I'm not happy because we're poor. That's all could be remedied. It could be all worked out. I'm not happy because I want to focus on my career. That's not a good reason for a file divorce. I'm not happy because he don't make a six-figure income. Make no sense at all. They need to hear themselves saying all this stuff, right? The ground for the divorce should only be abusive relationship, right? Abusive relationship and infidelity, or else you can have all those Dateline embassy attacking the husband. He did this, he did that, you know. But besides that, pick your mate, correctly. Pick your mate. Be careful when you pick your mate, you know, so you won't have to be in the situation where you have to deal with abusive persons, right? Make sure he don't drink. Make sure he's not a chronic gambler. Make sure, do a lot of vetting. Make sure she's don't drink. Make sure she's not a gambler. Make sure she's not a thuggish rugged girl. Make sure she's not ghetto. On that note, guys, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. As always, peace and blessings.